Hi, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for checking out your October 2020 tarot reading. Please remember this channel is pretty new, so it needs all the support it can get. Please remember to like, to comment, and subscribe, as well as check me out on Instagram at claire.voyant.queen and Twitter at _Claire_voyant. I have so many Halloween goodies headed your way, and I cannot wait to share them with you. Please remember that energy can be vice versa. This could apply to you, this could apply to your partner, this could apply to anyone around you. Please also check out your other placements, such as your sun, your moon, your rising, your Venus, for more messages and more content, but I cannot wait to get started. Thank you so much. Hi, Sagittarius. Welcome to your October 2020 tarot reading. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Let's jump right in. We're going to be using two different decks. I got the Romance Angels for the preliminary pull. And then I'm also going to be using the original Rider-Waite Tarot for the third pull to kind of clarify and bring everything together. But let's get started. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. Okay, I feel like they got a good shuffle. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. Sagittarius. Sagittarius for October of 2020. One more. Okay. Sagittarius, what do we got here? We have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. You deserve love. You are lovable. And religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing or spiritual path and spiritual path. Interesting. So we already have you deserve love. You are lovable. I feel like you probably know that. I feel like you're probably seeking a new partner, or you could have a partner in mind, or you are seeking a new partner, but they're asking you to really keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations, and that might be due to religious factors. You might essentially be two different religions, or you might have two different spiritual paths, or something along that line. However, this person is meant for you. They just might be a little bit outside of your comfort zone or something like that. But let's kind of go into some spirit animal cards. We'll kind of clarify what's already on the board, and then we will dive into some tarot. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. Okay. I feel like this is honing in on one person, which is really cool. So I feel like you may have a partner coming in, or you do have a partner. Tell me about Sagittarius. Ooh, snake. Okay, that wanted to come up. Yep, big spiritual, right? Religious factors, spiritual path, and we have the snake come up. Tell me about Sagittarius. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. Sagittarius. Okay. Sagittarius, you are the raccoon. Your partner is the lion. Ooh, beautiful. You might be dealing with a Leo. Your emotional connection, we have the hyena. Ooh, interesting. And then in your physical connection, we have the octopus. The octopus just came up. The octopus has come up actually a couple times in the set of months readings, and it just came up, I believe, in Cancer, I think. So you could be dealing with a Cancer, you could have a Cancer placement, but the octopus just came up in the physical connection for Cancer as well. But let's go ahead, let's read what we have on the board so you guys get all the information you need, and then we'll go from there. Let's start off with the raccoon. Also pay attention to, you got 2 earth signs, right? You got 2 fire signs, you got 1 water sign, and a physical connection. So the raccoon. Raccoon is talented, shadowy, in hiding. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness within a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in the artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I'm ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. Interesting. I really am getting the impression that this like raccoon energy, yes, is artistic. Some of you could be artistic, but I'm also getting that it's really spiritual as well, especially with the snake being here and these religious factors being here. So it could be that you are a religious person. Maybe you're kind of trying to hide that spiritual side of yourself or something along that line when it comes to this connection, is my kind of take on it. Let's dive into the lion over here. This is really great energy. I love to see this lion. We love lions. We love lions here. Lion, patient, regal, a complete master. The lion is the master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth, right? Spiritual, spiritual, spiritual. We keep pulling like spiritual, religious, artistic, like very much in that vein, right? This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their words and actions. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that self-mastery is available to all, no matter where our quest begins. One thing that really kind of speaks to me about this is the dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. It feels like you guys are both like known intimately by a few people, is how it feels. Feels like you're very much in your own little bubble over here in your own little world. The lion's very much in their own little world. You may know each other intimately, but I'm really getting the impression that like the core of who you are or who you truly like feel you are is not known by a lot of your friends and family, or not known by like, you need to be really close. Like you need to be really, really close in order to actually know like, kind of like that, the essence of you, right? Is how it feels. A lot of you are spiritual. A lot of you are spiritual. That's really kind of coming through here. And these spiritual factors might be playing a role in this connection, right? Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And I feel like that has something to do with religious factors, or someone being spiritual and the other person may not being as spiritual, or just practicing a different religion. That keeps coming through really strongly. Let's keep going with the hyena. Let's see. The hyena. Perfect. Humor, wit, sarcasm. This is in your emotional connection, so let's think about that as well. The hyena personality is a jokester and a crowd pleaser, but below the surface there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? Yeah, I'm really getting the impression here as well with the hyena, right? The hyena really talks about like light and shadow, right? We're really focusing in on this moon, right? We see like the dark side of the moon versus the light side of the moon, right? We see the subconscious versus the conscious. We feel like something is partially hidden, right? And that thing is partially hidden, the hyena is attempting to kind of cover up, right? It's very similar to that raccoon energy, right? Where we use like an artistic name or something of that line to kind of hide a part of ourselves or hide a part of our personality, right? And I have a feeling what we're kind of hiding is religious factors or spiritual factors here, something involving like spirituality. We're kind of hiding this in essence. That's interesting. And then we have the octopus, right? In our physical connection. Let's go find that. Reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, we also have perceptive here, perceptive like spiritual, right? Being perceptive, you might be intuitive, your partner might be intuitive. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business, shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. I also, when I read drained and uneasy, I immediately thought of an empath. So one, you might be empathic, your partner might be empathic, there might be some sort of empathic connection, about this relationship. The essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries, be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. So there's a lot going on, maybe involving, interesting. I do kind of get that you guys are in your own little bubble or you're known intimately. You might know each other intimately, but I feel like you're not known intimately by your friends and family, ultimately. And I feel like there's a lot that you kind of have that you're kind of hiding under the surface here. This octopus card is really interesting. I might go ahead and clarify that later on. It does kind of feel like it might be directly referencing the fact that someone's like very like intuitive and spiritual when it comes to this connection, and maybe not so much like hands-on, like entangling. It might be more so referencing that someone's just very, very perceptive here. Let's finish off with the snake and the overall connection. Let's see here. The snake is like super, super spiritual, right? Guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. Like religion just seems to keep coming up, doesn't it? Like perception, religion, artistic, the snake, spiritual growth, right? Like that seems to be a really big theme in this reading. Guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that the Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from its slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste, the snake heart appears when there's no more time to waste, right? It talks about unawakened or untapped potential within, right? We keep talking about like almost like this really heavy like spiritual religious energy that's kind of being like hidden, that's kind of being bottled away, right? There's something that you're really just not showcasing in this connection here, and it might be your spiritual upbringing, which is really interesting, or your spiritual feelings towards this connection. There's something like really powerful, really magnetic here, and it feels like someone's kind of like hiding some sort of religious undertone, which is really interesting. I don't know why that's like coming through really strongly. Let's go ahead, let's pull some Rider-Waite Tarot, and we'll kind of clarify what's on the board. Tell me about Sagittarius for October of 2020. 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 Okay. Oh, whoa. Whoa, that jumped. 5 of Swords in reverse. Another 5 of Cups in reverse. We're playing with 5s here. We're playing with conflict. Some sort of conflict in this connection, whether it's like a mental conflict. I'm kind of getting that it's like a mental conflict between like going inside someone's head versus like a physical conflict in this connection. It could be either or, but I'm really strongly getting like some sort of like mental thing that's happening to someone. Like they're kind of going back and forth. Ooh, oh wow, they wanted me to pull both of these. We have a 6 of Swords, and we have a 2 of Rods. This is going to be a big reading. One more. Jesus Christ. I can't take all of these. Okay, we're going to have to read some of these really fast, guys. Okay. Let's see. Let me kind of just get my bearings here, because a lot of cards just came out just now. Okay. Perfect. Sagittarius, in your current situation, we have the Chariot. Again, Cancer, right? Octopus came up in Cancer, right? I almost said October, and then I almost said octopus, lol. Octopus came up in Cancer in the physical connection as well, and now we have the Chariot. It looks like you might have some sort of Cancer placement, or maybe your partner is a Cancer, but a lot of this is about moving forward. So you might be actually kind of coming out of this bubble, kind of coming forward in terms of like your spiritual beliefs and like your religious beliefs, and really how you express that inside this relationship or inside this connection, which is really nice to see. We really appreciate that. We really like that. In your current situation, your partner's current situation, we have the 4 of Swords, right? Resting, recovery, right? Someone's kind of really focused on relaxing, contemplating, understanding, right? They're kind of in a period of rest right now. In your past connection between you two, we have the Queen of Wands in reverse, right? This is someone who is has a little bit more feminine energy. It's someone who has a lot of passion, a lot of like purpose and energy and drive for life, but they can't necessarily like focus it, right? They're kind of losing control over their passions, right? This could be, I'm really not getting that this is like in your past connection. This feels like this was like one of you guys like in the past, but not necessarily this like specific relationship. In your current connection, we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, right? Bringing things into balance, right? That's really great to see. We're bringing this Queen of Wands energy into balance. And then in your future connection, we have the Hermit in reverse, which is kind of going internally and not listening to inner wisdom here. That's interesting. Immediately, we have the Hermit, right? Which is going to be Virgo energy. So you could have a Virgo placement in your chart. Your partner could have a Virgo placement in your chart. Queen of Wands also suggests that we might have some Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could be you. This could be essentially, that's interesting. This could be your energy, right? This Queen of Wands in reverse could be your energy, Sagittarius. Kind of almost like this energy of like going internal, kind of hiding the spiritual and religious wisdom that you really don't want to share in this connection, because it might make you feel like ostracized or something of like that nature. And it feels like now you're kind of moving forward, right? We have Chariot energy and we're kind of moving forward out of that stagnated energy. We're really bringing things into balance here. But something is coming in here with this Hermit of almost being like not necessarily listening to higher thought, not necessarily listening to the universe, not necessarily like listening to higher consciousness here. Let's kind of tackle what's on this side of the board. A lot of cards came out, guys. I'm sorry, you probably can't even see all of them. Let's see. So we originally had the Five of Swords in reverse and the Five of Cups in reverse, right? When these cards really appear in reverse, it suggests to me at one point that they were upright, right? Which really talks, Five of Cups really talking about some sort of emotional loss. This could have been your Queen of Wands energy in reverse, right? In the past, we really experienced some sort of emotional loss in terms of a connection. And then in the Five of Swords energy, this is kind of a little bit of like the energy of like cold blood, of like betrayal, of like, of like not necessarily lies and manipulation, but things were not left on good terms, right? Very cold, very cutting. And when we have them in reverse, we're kind of, warming up out of that colder blood energy. We're kind of recovering from this emotional loss, right? So it feels like there's a lot of recovery. It feels like we're bringing a lot of things into balance, especially with the Six of Pentacles card, right? So let's throw these down over here. I'm trying to see, let's see. You got a 2, you got a 6, you got another 6. So you have 2 5s and 2 6s. Looks like we have 2 9s and a 4. Interesting. So we're really focusing on that 5, 6, right? We're really focusing on coming out of some sort of conflict and really kind of almost like this is the change, this is the transformation, right? We've been through the conflict, we've understood what we need to know, and now we're kind of coming out of that energy and we're kind of going through a little bit of a self-transformation here. It's kind of what like numerologically is going on. Over here we had the Six of Swords in reverse, right? This is someone who's kind of leaving a rough situation and entering a more calm situation. They're very mentally clear, very mentally stable, right? But now what's interesting is he's returning back to, because this is in reverse, he's returning back to that rough situation. This might be you essentially. How it feels is you've kind of gone internally, right? Feels like there was a lot of conflict. Feels like you really couldn't manifest things. Really feels like you couldn't produce things. Really feels like you couldn't like apply your energy to projects and to connections. And so you kind of went internally, right? We really went internally. We really did a lot of internal work, and we're kind of coming out, we're moving forward, and we're balancing. We're balancing. We're balancing from some sort of heartbreak, some sort of cold-blooded connection. We're kind of coming out of that. And ultimately right now we are kind of headed, it feels like we're headed back into some rough water, right? But I feel like you're headed back into rough water with a little bit of a different perspective is kind of how it feels. You have like the Two of Rods here, right? Which is him kind of overlooking the world, right? He's got the whole world in his hands. It's a card of like possibilities. It's a card of like chances, right? Essentially, he's kind of made his decision, he's made his mark, and he's ready to go explore, and he's ready to take on the world. It's very much an energy of like, kind of reminds me a little bit of like Fool energy, right? Where I'm ready to go out and I'm ready to explore. Very Sagittarian, right? So it kind of feels like you're almost like returning to a situation, but you're returning to a situation with a brand new perspective here, because you've really gone internally and done some healing work. Over here, we got all of these effing cards that just flew out. We got the Nine of Swords, we got the Nine of Rods in reverse, right? And we have the Knight of Swords. So this really is suggesting to me, right, nines are a completion, so we're approaching the end of a completion. Nine of Swords is going to be the card of nightmares, right, of sleepless nights, of dreams, of anxiety, of depression, right? These swords are kind of plaguing him in his mind, essentially, and he can't find inner peace, right? And then over here we have the Nine of Rods in reverse, right? And this is kind of, the Nine of Rods really talks about the final hurdle, right? This guy is beaten up, right? He has like a little a bandage on his forehead. He looks very tired, very distraught, but he's aware that there's only a little bit more to go. But when this is in reverse, it's really suggesting that he doesn't have the energy, right? He doesn't have the energy to keep going. And he doesn't really have the energy because he's really mentally burdened right now. He's so close to a damn finish line, but he's so tired and he doesn't really have the energy to keep going. This feels like another person, this Knight of Swords here. This feels like it could be a Gemini, Libra, or a Aquarius. I almost said Sagittarius. And this is kind of someone rushing in, right? Someone rushing in, very clear-headed, very confident, very fast. Someone who's really not going to stay, but it's someone kind of rushing in. Interesting. This could be someone from the past, this Knight of Swords here. It could be this individual here. I'm really not getting the impression that it's this individual. Maybe it is, actually. It does feel like, there's kind of like this, we pulled the Four of Swords, right, for your partner, which really talks about rest and relaxation, which really doesn't make sense to me with this whole Knight of Swords energy, because it kind of feels very, one's resting, one's traveling at the speed of light, how it feels, right? So it kind of feels almost like this could be the same person because they're both air signs, but I really kind of get the impression that this is someone else. This is someone else who might have caused this, right? How it feels is this Knight of Swords might essentially have caused this anxiety, caused this depression, caused this like sleepless nights, these nightmares, these dreams, right? Someone who's like completely energetically drained you. This person might have caused this energy, which could have been the past energy that you've experienced, right? That could have been the past energy that you've experienced, which is kind of why you really went internally, right? Why you really went internally is the raccoon with the hyena, right? You kind of really woke up to some really religious factors, some really spiritual beliefs. You kind of like really kind of channeled in on those. That really allowed you to kind of heal, is how it feels. And we're allowing ourselves to really move forward. We're allowing ourselves to move forward and bring balance to the situation. There's something going on with this Hermit in terms of it being not listening to inner wisdom, but that could be way off in the future. It could just be reminiscent of you having a Virgo placement or your partner having a Virgo placement. But it kind of does feel like you really uncorked. It feels like you've gone internally healed and you've really uncorked all these spiritual beliefs, right? I feel like you're really coming to terms with your spirituality in terms of this connection, right? That's kind of how it feels. And it feels like your spiritual beliefs might not appeal to your partner, or your partner's spiritual beliefs might not appeal to you, or something like that nature. But if you have an open mind, this connection can really, really work out, is how it feels. Sagittarius, thank you so much for checking out your October 2020 reading, and I will see you in November. Bye, guys.